key to IELTS. This is Amarinder. Today let's check something about the design of IELTS, that is International English Language Testing System, for both academic as well as general training modules. Well, in fact there are 4 parts here: listening, reading, writing and speaking. That is 2 comprehending skills whereas 2 communicative skills. Now where is the difference between academic and general training module? In fact, IELTS academic module is preferred by the candidates purely for higher education or even for certain professional recognitions for medicine or legal purposes anyways. Coming to this general training module, this is purely intended for immigration purpose. So where does the difference lie here? With regard to reading and writing, there is a bit of difference for general training candidates. Now, let us start with listening. In listening, we have got 4 sections, each section going with 10 questions. Now, we need to just listen to the recording and we have to mark our answers directly on the question paper booklet if it is a paper based test, or else if it is computer delivered test, you will be directly clicking on the answers anyways. You have got different question types like filling the blanks or choosing the right letter, or it can be map completion sometimes. Well, in fact, we need to remember that map completions or picture completions are a bit tricky. But here, sections 1 and 2 deal with social needs, that is day-to-day conversations. That is section 1, and section 2 usually goes with a monologue, and sections 3 and 4 go with education and training context. Now, let's check further with reading. Before we move on to reading, here with regard to transfer time, in listening at the end of that task, you will be given 10 minutes time to transfer your answers separately to an answer sheet, because that is a multitasking. You need to listen to the recording, you need to read the question, as well as you have to write your answer. So, for this reason, they will be giving you 10 minutes extra time to transfer your answers to a separate answer sheet in paper-based test. But in computer delivered test, you will be given only 2 minutes at last to check, because there will be no separate answer sheet, as you might have already clicked your answers. Let's move on further to reading task. So what happens in reading? Usually we have 3 sections in our reading task for academic as well as general training, but the design is different for these sections. If you take academic context, we have got 3 long passages, that is 1 long passage for each section. And the question number is same anyways, there are 40 questions for both academic and general training context. Well, with regard to academic candidates, there will be 3 long passages, but for general training candidates, there will be 4 short and 1 long passage. Similarly, the assessment, there is a difference in assessment. So what is that? With regard to academic candidates, if they score roughly 30 out of 40, they might expect a band score of 7. Whereas for general training candidates, to get the same band score, that is 7, they need to go with 34 correct answers out of 40. Now, let's move on further to writing task. So what happens with writing? In fact, there is a difference with writing for both academic as well as general training, that is especially with task 1. Well, task 1 in writing for academic candidates is purely called as report writing. We also call it as infographics, or some people call it as pictorial representation. Well, now what are the cases? You will be given a pie chart or a table or a line graph, or it can be production process or maps, whatever it is. You will be getting some pictures. So you need to convert the pictorial information into language, that is it. You are supposed to write around 150 words in roughly 20 minutes. Now, moving on further to this writing task 2. Well, writing task 2 goes with essay writing. Now, let's move on further to general training. Here in general training, writing task 1, we call it as letter writing. So what happens here? You will be given a letter to write on a tone called as formal or semi-formal or informal. Now, here you are supposed to write roughly around 150 words, again 20 minutes. Apart from that, task 2 is similar to that of academic candidates, but the tone, that is up to you anyways. For general training candidates, well, you are supposed to write roughly 250 words in 40 minutes. And next, moving on further to speaking. Usually speaking is connected as a different part, sometimes on a different day. Well, speaking has 3 parts here. Part 1, which goes with introduction and interview. They will be putting you a few questions about yourselves, like tell me about yourselves, or it can be your shopping habits, or say around your hometown, like this. They will be all day-to-day tasks. And moving on further to part 2, this is an individual long term. Here they might give you a topic like who is your best friend, what is his or her name, how long do you know him or her from, and what are some qualities that you like in him or her. Now, you will be given a minute time for preparation, and you can make some points if you wish to. Right after which you are supposed to speak roughly around 1 to 2 minutes. That depends purely on the volition of the examiner. And part 3 in speaking is usually called as discussion. Here they will be putting a few questions to go with extended talk on a specific topic. They might be checking you for your opinions or assumptions or contrasting and many other details anyways, right? Based on your answers, that is based on your responses, you will be assessed anyways. And at this stage, that is in part 3 of speaking, they might go with some high-end vocabulary, or they might try to twist the question and check how good you are at understanding the question. Obviously that reflects in your response. Well, so that is all with the test pattern of our IELTS. Now you can check out further videos for strategies on specific question types for IELTS, GRE as well as PT. Thank you for watching.